Good evening, friends. Today I am going to talk about which is very relevant at this point of time, which is change in uncertain times. This is very relevant at this point of time, and change is nothing but it starts with transition, then it goes to a new state that is called change, but finally everybody is aiming change as a transformation. It has to be transformed, or any person who wants to get change himself, he has to transform into a new kind of avatar or new kind of personality. That is what it is, right? But in the times where there are uncertainty, the changes are little difficult, right? And that is what I'm going to talk about in next 5 or 6 slides, right? So it's like a transformation which I was talking about. It starts with this is a transformation formation of butterfly. A butterfly can become butterfly, but without fly, that butterfly cannot be butterfly. So when it transforms itself so that it can fly, that is a kind of transformation we are talking about. Otherwise, butterfly is like this. Here butterfly is also like this. But when it transforms from here to here, that is what is called a change or a transformation. In today's world, this is very commonly known terminology called VUCA. Generally, it is used in IT projects. That is volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. In today's world, it is there. It is there as a part of our life become. Everything is volatile. It is like that black swan, kind of event. Everything is uncertainty. Lots of complexity is involved, ambiguity, and this is because of the speed we are moving in. The entire world is moving in, and the age we are in right now. It's a highly fast-paced world where, with that space, all these things are happening. So it becomes very, very complicated situation, right? Like this is a ship which is in the water. We have iceberg which is waiting. We don't have light. Then we have now the issues of corona which is coming in. So remaining changing in this kind of situation is actually a test of times. So things that never happened before happen all the time. So it is not that first time we are facing the current challenge. 1984, the Bhopal strategy. 2001, the 9/11 attack. 2007, the iPhone launch. 1986, the famous refinery fire. 2004, we had a tsunami in most of the parts of the eastern part of the world, and currently we are facing the challenge of COVID. That is, the entire world is masked in today's condition. So the change comes by cultivating resilience in changing times. So resilience becomes very, very important, and personal resilience becomes very, very important. Look at this gentleman or athlete who is against the waves, and that can only be that only can happen once we are very, very resilient. So personal resilience is the ability to bounce back. In any kind of situation, you should be able to face for some time, right? But some point of time, but you have to bounce back again and again, right? It's like this, is cutting it off, that can't part of it, and you should always believe I can do it. So there are 5 practical personal, resilience. That are the 5 domains which we call. One is the physical. The physically it has to be fit. Second is emotional, which is mind. It is very, very important. Second is social, the kind of environment which we live in. Third is again a mental. Again mind comes in picture, and then the major thing is inspirational. If we are all about inspiring ourselves as well as to others, we will take that extra step to do something better. Physically, to do everything we have to be physically resilient. If you are not resilient, then you will your body might give away. Emotionally, we should be very, very strong. We should be able to take each and every situation in a right manner. Socially, we have to be with social people who are always there to boost our resilience, to boost our confidence. Mentally, again, the mind has to play a game. The inner game is very important. What we see inside has to be is normally outside, and inspirational will always take you, make you to take that extra steps in this situation. So what are the 3 steps you can take during uncertain times? One is taking care of yourself. Unless you take care, you will not be able to take care of others. It's like in the flight where you generally hear that the oxygen mask will fall down, but before attending to or before helping others, you have to put your own mask first. So it's like practicing ourselves, getting ourselves ready so that you can help others. See yourself as an influencer. Take ownership of an change initiative and be a role model. So you cannot be telling people you do this and do that, but you will not be able to do that. You have to be a role model so that people can follow you. Always see changing lenses to see beyond. So it cannot be that particular point. So reverse lens. So you should see what would the other person would do in this kind of situation. How might they be right? So that is the think of basically a reverse lens. Then we have to do long lens. How will I probably view the situation next 6 months or a year? That has to be considered. And we have to also go wider. We have to also see how can I grow and learn from the situation. So these are the 3 lenses which you have to wear in this kind of situation. To build your resilience, ask yourself 2 simple questions. Is there any possible scenario by which this could actually turn out to be a good thing someday? So whatever the situation we are in, will it turn out to be good in some point in some days time? That you have to ask a question. What if I can do something to make this a positive outcome? How can I make this situation to get it an outcome as positive? So what can I do in this? If these 2 questions will take you very, very far. And when it comes to organization, the changes have not been the great things for many people. It has never generally they don't work in most of the large organizations because it has never been tried before. Why change if everything is okay? These are the mindset which people go through. Why don't have we don't have money or time to do this change? So these are all questions which ask to take ourselves back from the change. It is too radical a change, so we consider that extraordinarily radical. It's not my job, and finally we think that this change customer won't buy it. So this is why the change doesn't work in organizations. Changes can be done to us, or changes we can do it to others. So we have to look at it in both kind of situation. People resist change when they believe that change is unnecessary or it will make things worse. So these are the kind of situation or mind, thinking comes in people's mind when they start looking changes. So somebody has to guide them. Don't trust the people leading the change effort. So if they don't believe that person who is leading the change effort, he is the right person, they will not go for change. They are not confident whether they will be able to, this change will be able to, will be successful. So that confidence level is not there. They have no inputs about planning how to implement the change program. So they have just been told to go ahead and do it, but they don't have any inputs. Feel the change means personal loss, security, money. So sometimes people feel like the computers came, a lot of people feel that there's a issue of job security and all. So any change comes, they always think about themselves, about their security, about their personal things, right? Believe in existing practice. Since it is a proven practice, we always believe in what we have been doing so far. And I have already experienced a lot of change and cannot handle anymore. So I have been part of a lot of changes or change initiatives. I have handled so many, now I cannot handle. These are some of the areas where people resist change when the change comes. So why organizing this transformation is very hard. Generally, organizations are built on stable, rigid, foundations, and it will be difficult to change that entire thing in one go, right? And at the rate of speed which we are going right now, the organizations have now many organizations have taken, and there are a lot of examples about it. They have taken this speed and change and hookah thing as a part of opportunity, and they are moving. So what is the change management and what is the change leadership? Managing change is like we do in project management. Make the change case for change, then create a plan for that change, identify the action step for change, set the milestone for creating the change, and monitor the progress. These are all we do in project management. Why changes? Because system, process, and structures are required. So in case of leadership, it is how, being intentional in how you lead others. So in case of leadership, you always communicate a vision. If the vision is not committed, people will not come to you. We have to always influence. We have to always listen as if we get a feedback when it comes of implementing a change. We have to be also part of them. We have to be inclusive. We have to take their feedback. We have to be part of them. And whenever necessary, a support has to be provided. So what changes? In change management, we say why changes, right? And in leadership, we say what changes, because what changes is the mindsets, what changes the behaviors, and what changes is the culture, right? In change management, why changes? Because there are systems, process, and structures which are in place. So this is what Indra Noory said. If you want to improve the organization, you have to improve yourself, and the organization gets pulled up with you. So you have to be that change. The entire thing can come you if they feel that you are the right person to lead the change. You must be the change you wish to see the world. That's what great Mahatma Gandhi has said. So it is important the change has to start from ourselves, and the personal resilience have to come in, and there are a lot of ways we can build that personal resilience. Thank you very much.